I have a question. Our animated movies, of course, outside of Japan, dying. Look at last year's animated movies. You have like one or two good, really great movies, and then all the rest just completely suck. Like Hotel Transylvania 3, Oh Man, and this movie, and definitely Smallfoot. That movie was terrible. But we're going on to 2019. It's exactly the same. Okay, it's exactly the same. Of course, we will not be talking about movies that are not out yet. Of course, like Frozen 2 will not count at all because it's not out yet, or Spies in Disguise, which is also not yet out yet, and it could actually be good movies. But then when you have the movies that are representing animation of Ugly Dolls and Missing Link, which is another Bigfoot movie that nobody asked for, and yes, the Lego Movie 2, and the sequel to the sequel Life of Pets, and a sequel to the Angry Birds movie, which that movie is actually pretty funny, the Angry Birds movie 2. And basically more directed DVD movies and stuff. And of course, we can't forget about the elephant in the room, the Lion King remake. And I haven't seen Toy Story 4, and I probably won't see Toy Story 4 ever, because I don't want to see. Because Toy Story 3 was the real ending of the series. Okay, let's not stop talking about that stuff. But but then you gotta think about this. Toy Story 4, How to Train Your Dragon the Hidden World, and the Lion King remake, because yes, that is an animated movie, because an animated movie is a movie done entirely in computer, which the Lion King remake is done entirely in computer. So, let's look at Box Office Mojo of 2019 worldwide. So, there was only 3 animated movies that have passed $500 million worldwide. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, The Lion King remake, which is terrible, and Toy Story 4. But then, other than that, The Secret Life of Pets 2 underperformed compared to the first entry in the series, and The Lego Movie 2 flopped. Yes, the way first talk about let's talk about the reason why animated movies are dying. Not all animated movies are dying, of course. There are, because for every Spider Verse and every Toy Story, or How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World, we have 5 Boss Babies. They are funny at first, but they don't really come out as good movies. Um, let's look at The Secret Life of Pets 2. I haven't seen it, but The Secret Life of Pets 2 is basically more of the same movie as the first one, and that's the problem. There isn't really any originality in The Secret Life of Pets 2. It's more just, oh, there's more of your favorite characters from the first movie. And most people say, no, we don't want to see that. No. And this is a result of that. It is the second lowest grossing Illumination movie ever. And many people say the second movie is better than the first one. And also doesn't help that Aladdin came out 2 weeks before, and Toy Story 4 came out a few weeks afterwards. But next movie, The Lego Movie 2 second part. This movie sucks. The first movie sucked. I don't care what you guys say. The whole Lego Movie series is just terrible. But The Lego Movie 2 is also more of the same. Okay, The Lego Movie 2 came out a week before Alita Battle Angel, and problem is, and isn't romantic and Happy Death Day too. But the problem is, Legos are just not popular outside of America, except for Denmark, because that's where Legos came from. No, let's look at this four. Let's look at these 4 numbers. These are just not good numbers, and the only reason why it's popular in Denmark is because Lego originated in Denmark. It's also very popular in the UK, which is the only market the movie did well in to begin with, besides Australia. Which is the problem, because nobody really wanted to see this movie outside of America. And it also didn't help that other movies started coming out, like How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Hidden World, and Alita Battle Angel, which made way more money than the Lego Movie 2, the second part. And then, let's move on to the next movie. Wonder Park. I have not seen Wonder Park. And no, Dragon Ball Super Boy is not gonna be in here because I said Japanese movies are accepted from this list because they actually do pretty well compared to the budget, and they still will continue to do well in the future. Wonder Park is another example. This movie is generic and boring. A movie that nobody wanted to see, at least between Captain Marvel and Dumbo, and even us. But in terms of movies for more family audiences, not us, Wonder Park was launched at second because more people would rather see the Marvel movie than see Wonder Park. And also How to Train Your Dragon was still in theaters and still making money, diverting money away from Wonder Park. Wonder Park is considered, and also Wonder Park actually was a major flop of the year as well. And in the next movie, the last movie we're going to talk about is Ugly Dolls. We don't have any gross on Angry Birds movie 2 yet, but it's probably going to underperform as well. Ugly Dolls seems to be is the bottom of the barrel. Glad this movie flopped because this looks like another generic movie. And the thing is, the Ugly Dolls is based off some brand that nobody cares about. It's kind of like another brand that nobody cares about, the Emoji Movie. Nobody went out to see the Ugly Dolls because, Endgame. Okay, what do you want to see? Make your family go see. Avengers Endgame or Ugly Dolls? Yeah, Avengers sounds like the better option. And then, the thing that didn't help Ugly Dolls. A week later, Pokemon Detective Pikachu came out, which basically killed Ugly Dolls' any chance of success as the family alternative to Avengers Endgame. It's also the highest grossing Pokemon movie and video game adaptation domestically too. Which Detective Pikachu basically beat Ugly Dolls in everywhere. Everywhere it beat Ugly Dolls. But what does Wonder Park Ugly and Ugly Dolls have in common? They both suck. They both are terrible movies. They're both are movies that you don't want to see because of generic garbage that nobody cares about. A lot of people like the Lego Movie 2 and like the first one, but the reason why is just they took too long to make the Lego Movie 2 and the sequel F Pets 2. The reason why that flopped was because there wasn't enough because it was more of the same. I won't be surprised if Abominable and Angry Birds Movie 2 and the Playmobil movie also all underperform is even Pixar is actually declining in quality, but Disney still manages to get the people to go see their movies despite it. Even Toy Story 4 actually underperformed domestically. If you compare Toy Story 4 to Toy Story 3, adjusting for inflation, because of course Toy Story 3 is an older movie. If you're adjusting for inflation, Toy Story 4 is actually selling even worse than Toy Story 2. That means Toy Story 4 is the second least popular in the franchise. Or if we go towards ticket sales, which is basically the amount of people who went to go see it, all the movies at least had 4 million tickets sold, but Toy Story 4 is behind Toy Story 3 by almost 8, by like 5 mil, 8. Okay, so that's for 7 million at least. So that means Toy Story 4, which is almost out of theaters, is going to need to sell 7 more million tickets to be the most popular Toy Story movie if you adjust it for ticket price inflation. And of course, adjusted for ticket sales. So basically it means Toy Story 4 is an underperforming movie. But then we have two movies that have been successful this year. The Lion King remake is the first one. Disney, of course, explored nostalgia like with Aladdin and other movies to get people into the theaters, so it's no surprise this movie was a success. And of course, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. The thing is that is a end of the series, and they probably won't make another movie probably for a while or probably ever. Oh wait, they are making a kids show based off of it. But there probably won't be another How to Train Your Dragon movie in the theaters. And a lot of people like this movie as well, and it was is one of the only three animated movies to be successful this year. Could any of the future animated movies be successful this year? There is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 animated movies coming out this year. Angry Birds Movie 2. Angry Birds Movie 2 got good reviews by critics, which is surprising because I was expecting it to get worse reviews like the first movie. But if Angry Birds Movie if the fan base for the first movie returns to go see the second movie, and ever has raised, because it seems there's no really other movies coming out until Abominable, because it's really a month between Angry Birds movie and Abominable, and Toy Story 4 is already almost out of theaters to begin with. The only competition with the Angry Birds movie 2 is the Lion King remake, which is already a month old. Next is Abominable. I think this movie has a chance of being successful. It is very similar to another one of DreamWorks movies called How to Train a Dragon, and maybe we can get some of those fans to come back. It's even made by the same people who made How to Train a Dragon 2. So if we get the fans of the How to Train a Dragon movie to like this movie, I think this movie could be a decent success. But please, Hollywood, stop with the stupid Yeti movies. We already had 2 of them already. We don't need another one. Next is the Addams Family. This is one of those movies that nobody has heard of. It is made by United Artists Movie. I have no idea how this movie will do actually. I think this movie is gonna do okay. I have no idea how this movie will really do. Next is Arctic Dogs. This says FOP all over it. It looks like Normal the North. It's funny how we're getting so many movies about the Arctic as well, and about Frozen 2. We all know that's going to be a success. Even though I hate Frozen 1, I cannot deny that Frozen was a very successful movie, and this movie and the sequel will likely will gross 500 plus million at the very least. Like Toy Story 4 was at where I was expecting to gross 800 to 900 million. It rigged itself out to $1 billion. Next is Playboy movie. Sorry, but I think this movie is gonna flop, especially since you're releasing it on the same day as Jumanji. No, not a week before Jumanji. And Frozen 2 is probably gonna make more money than this movie. It's probably gonna do okay at the very least. Spies in Disguise. I think this movie will do well. Why? Because look at its if you look at the movies that are coming out around the same time, you have Cats, which looks like crap. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which Star Wars is a dying franchise. Super Intelligence, which will likely not do well. And Star Wars and Jumanji are likely fighting for number 1 and number 2, like with 2017. And Spies in Disguise will be that third film that alternative to both films, because who would want to see cats with ugly with really awful CGI? So that's basically it. But today we'll be asking our question: Are animated movies dying? I don't think they're dying yet. If they were truly dying, Disney would be losing money off of their movies as well. If animated movies were dying, we would probably see the actual the, we were then how can 2 animated movies probably gross $1 billion if animated movies were dying? But the problem is those 2 movies are made by Disney. Disney. Yes. Toy Story 4 and the Lion King remake for specifically. And Frozen 2 could probably gross $1 billion as well. And Spies in Disguise will probably do a decent success. Probably won't pass 500 million, but will probably make back its money. Even then, I ripped on the Secret Life of Pets 2. Secret Life of Pets 2 had a very small budget of 75 million, similar to the Angry Birds movie's budget as a 65 million. So Secret Life of Pets 2 is a very cheap movie to make, only $80 million, which basically means Illumination still made money off of this movie.